Hello, 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 hello. Good morning and good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, May 25th, Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesday, May 26th, Singapore time. We are NFT Malam. We are so happy. Can you hear me, Ruler in Peace? Okay, we are so happy to be here with you on NFT Malam. Today is NFT Malam number 45. We are fast approaching our 52nd episode, which means we have been with NFT Malam in our NFT Malam community for almost 1 year. Ruler in Peace, you're my co-host. How excited are you today?
I'm always excited, but you put me back in time for a minute. You said Tuesday, but I do believe you meant Thursday.
It's Thursday. I'm sorry. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good for a Tuesday. That's how good I'm doing. I'm excellent for a Tuesday, but let me regroup. Today is Thursday, May 25th. 9:05 a.m. and it is Friday. It's still Thursday. It's Thursday, May 25th, 9:05 p.m. with our community out of Singapore. Yes, we are a Singaporean community. Don't let our looks fool you. Absolutely. Hello, Singapore. Hello, Singapore. We love you. We are also broadcasting from one of our founders and sponsors. Who is it? Mike Chua of Fanfare Global. We want to thank him at the top of the hour. We also want to thank our mentor and our sponsor, BK Han of Metaverse Generation and co-founder of MGen Labs. Thank you, BK Han. We also want to thank one of our co-founders also who we miss very much, Sean McCulley, my personal favorite, of Gaijin Izakaya Soul Food. Thank you, Sean McCulley, for being here with us from day one, providing us with an amazing sponsorship and food upon arrival in Singapore. We can't wait to see you and meet our community in Singapore in person. I'm feeling pretty good, really.
You're looking very good. You're looking not fine.
I'm feeling kind of spring. I was a little sick over the weekend, flat on my back, dead to the world. I have risen. So hello, my brother, my favorite male co-host, my only male co-host. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you're my only male co-host. I want to say hello once again to our Fanfare Global community. I love y'all. I want to hear from you. I want to thank you for listening on Facebook. I also want to say, guess who I never acknowledge? The Fanfare Global host.
Oh, really?
They may not know me, but I watch them. I may not speak their language, but I still listen in Hindi and Pakistani. It's fabulous. They're amazing. They talk about sports, technology, all amazing things, but I do watch Fanfare Global in other languages. So I am a Fanfare Global fan, and I am watching the Fanfare Global co-host. So I wanted to give a shout out to Fanfare Global, the staff, the team, everyone who makes that brand amazing. Thank you again to Mike Chua for such an amazing, fantastic ambassadorship and presenting sports youth around the world. I want to play the music all day, but we can't.
We can't, but let's leave it going just a little bit longer though, because
Thank you.
as you were giving a shout out to Mike and the people, we also were talking about Tina Turner over here, and we just wanted to send our condolences to her family, and just also a shout out to her for all the energy, all the love that she put into the community, that she led the way in so many ways, and she was such a loving soul and an overcomer and resilient and brilliant, and and it hurt I cried yesterday. I don't know what do you remember where you were at that moment and what?
I was asleep and my child ran into the room and said, "Mom, Tina Turner died," and it hit me like a blow, and I went back to sleep. We talk about 3 degrees of separation.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a chance in my life, I'll tell this story, where I had a chance to become Tina Turner's assistant in Switzerland, and I had to pass up on it. So I do want to send my condolences to specifically the group of friends. I won't name their names to maintain their privacy, but I want to send condolences to my family of friends. They're a family. They are my friends who were assistants to Tina in Switzerland for many years. I'm thinking of you today and how much you loved Tina and her family and served Tina for decades. So my love to you. You know who you are. So thinking of Tina Turner to this day, an advocate, Larry King, once mentioned and told her, guess what? You have become an icon for feminism because of telling your story regarding becoming a survivor, no, a thriver and an overcomer, surviving domestic abuse and becoming a success of pulling yourself out of that situation and showing and climbing to the top of musical success alone with hardly anyone to help us. I read an article about Mick Jagger just talking about Tina Turner, the powerhouse of a woman, and how she helped him so much in his career. She's helped so many. A few people helped her, but she has helped so many. And she did it by herself. She built her own show. She had one person believe in her who decided to become her manager. She fought against all the no's at 37 years old, where she decided to create her own show, where she realized that she could create her own music, her own tempo. And she restarted her career at 37. She became the face of Hanes, right? They put a $20 million marketing plan behind her. She became the face of Hanes. What's Love Got to Do with It? Became a #1 hit in the UK. And so what they did is they said, we have to make an album. And so when she arrived for the Mad Max launch in the United States, they did an album within a crazy amount of time. I know that it was less than 30 days, but they pulled an album because that one song went to the top. So yeah, incredible rise, incredible woman who found peace, did it her way. She did it her way. That was one of her favorite songs. When she got married after being with her partner for over 27 years, she walked down the aisle in a green dress to her way. I did it my way. Yeah. And so she is an icon for women around the world, for people around the world. She's an icon for women of color. She's an icon for survivors and thrivers, people overcoming abuse. And we have lost one of the greats, one of my idols. I don't have many. But Tina Turner is someone who made me believe in myself as a young woman of color. I was able to see myself on television, succeeding and being a shining star in her. So we thank you, Miss Turner, for your energy, your light, and your love. We appreciate you so much. Rest in peace. Thank you.
And so one last thing I want to say about her, and be inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame. Twice. Not one.
She did it her way. She had to come back and said, thank you for my own flowers, because she did it her way. They were forced to recognize her power, her force, her light, intensity. Amazing points.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right.
All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, ruler in peace.
All right, we're going to talk about two things in the NFT realm today. One is, what is Azra Games' approach to NFTs in gaming? It's like, because they're doing it a little bit different way. Speaking of doing it our way, blockchain gaming company Azra Games is taking a different approach to NFTs and Web3 games, focusing on the gameplay itself rather than the crypto elements. In a recent interview, Azra Games founder and CEO Mark Otero said Web3 games need to be so good that people adopt for the gameplay, not for NFTs or in its game tokens. Web3 is not at the foreground or forefront of the player's experience, he said during a recent interview with Decrypt. In fact, he said, we must build a game so good people don't care, and they shouldn't know they are playing a Web3 game, according to him. It's like Otero added that Web3 elements of a game should reveal themselves only after players fall in love with it, enhancing the user experience and bringing additional value to the game. He said this unique vision was part of the reason Azra received investment from venture capitalist firms like Andreessen Horowitz, NFX, Coinbase Ventures, and Play Ventures. Otero, a former general manager at global gaming giant Electronic Arts, founded Azra Games in 2022 with the goal to create games that incorporate Web3 elements like NFTs and in tokens. The company has raised a total of $25 million to date. Its latest fundraising round was in February this year, when the company raised $10 million at an undisclosed valuation. At the time, the company said it was working on a game called Legions and Legend, or Legions and Legend. Legions and Legend is an opportunity for us to create something with a potential new business model for a new platform, Otero said. Otero is working with fellow entrepreneurs Sony Mayaguba and Travis Bordeaux. The company has also hired veterans from Capital Games. Otero shows skepticism about the play-to-earn games. During a recent interview, Otero also expressed skepticism regarding the concept of play-to-earn, a blockchain gaming mechanism where players earn crypto tokens as rewards for completing tasks, winning battles, and competing against players, which I find interesting because of the fact that that is what has helped so many people is like make a reasonable wage in third world countries like the Philippines, where I spent 8 years. But he said there are different player types. In the first place, there are traditional players who are looking for entertainment value and are intrinsically motivated to play a game. However, crypto native players have different motivations. According to Otero, these players are often intrinsically motivated, meaning they seek to earn money in return for playing a game. Our philosophy has always been gameplay, entertainment, value, and fun first, period. Why? Because that is sustainable, according to him. So that's the news with regards to them. And then I have to go back to our childhood. It's like, at least those here in America and wherever else, Sesame Street has been aired is like around the globe, because Sesame Street is coming, and particularly Oscar the Grouch is coming to NFTs. Vive, the leading mobile-first digital collectibles platform, revealed a new addition to its lineup of Sesame Street digital collectibles. Excitingly, it's an animated Oscar the Grouch. This officially licensed digital collectible will be available for purchase exclusively on Vive's platform on Sunday, May 27th at 8 a.m. PT, Pacific Standard Time. So 8 a.m. May 27th, Oscar the Grouch is coming. And I have a little bit more to share about that. It says that thanks to Vive, the leading mobile-first digital collectibles platform, we can expect more Sesame Street NFTs. Significantly, fans of Sesame Street and Oscar the Grouch can get their hands on this limited edition collectible. It features the iconic character emerging from a trash can and uttering his classic catchphrase, including the famous Scram. The Oscar the Grouch collectible has a total edition size of 4,444, thus making it a highly sought-after item for collectors. To acquire this unique digital collectible, collectors can download the VB app on the App Store or Google Play, or access it through the VB web app. The price for the Oscar the Grouch collectible is set at $60, equivalent to 60 in-app gems. This is the latest edition of VB Sesame Street NFT collection. Previously, they launched the Cookie Monster drop. Markedly, these collectibles provide dedicated fans with a new way to express their love for characters from the show. And that's all I got to share with you today. And back to you, Miss Kafi.
Fantastic, fantastic. Today, as we count down to our 52nd week, we have been going through some of our best of Malam. And one of the best of Malam is an amazing developer called Jinx Guo. He is with Filecoin, and this is one of our best shows ever. And we are going to allow you to delve into the alpha from Jinx about Filecoin, some treats that they offer, and security, dApps, and what it means to be on the blockchain. So welcome, Jinx Guo. Here you go, everyone. Thanks so much.
Glad to be here. Hi, everyone. My name is Jinx. I'm a developer advocate from Filecoin Foundation. My role in the foundation is to work in the ecosystem working group. And ecosystem working group is the joint force between Protocol Labs, which is the research and engineering company for Filecoin, and then the Filecoin Foundation is the entity that looks after the ecosystem and the community side of things, and also govern the project's governance. So today, I'm glad to be here to talk about decentralized storage with you all. Let me share my screen with you because I need a little bit of a visual aid here. So here is my presentation. Hopefully you can see it. Yep, everyone can see it. Lovely. So storage is very important to us, right? When is the last time you lost your personal data? Years ago, a colleague of mine traveled to Cuba for work with his personal phone. The company has administrative access to his phone to manage the phone in case of accidents. And the accident that happened was that the company didn't really notice that he's actually going to Cuba for work. So the IT department, to avoid trouble getting into Cuban authority, there were very strict laws against American softwares and imports and data. His phone was erased without his consent. His company decided to de-risk him, and years of his family photos were gone in a snap. Precious memories perished. I too have the same problem. I've lost personal photos before. Those are very valuable things to me, probably worth nothing to other people. But my entire photo gallery since 2008 is now backed up on a fragile 2 terabyte Western Digital external hard drive that could fail anytime. To back this up on multiple cloud systems like Google Cloud, Dropbox, or things like that, this is a considerable amount of cost every year to myself. Data storage is very important to our lives. The importance is growing, and rise of demand for efficient storage, increased frequency of data access, data sharing, and usage of portable devices such as tablets and smart mobile phones, which are capable of consuming higher bandwidth of internet processing power, and also have higher resolution to produce photos and videos, is driving that demand even higher. So the market size for personal cloud storage is currently at a $61 billion USD level, and it is growing at a compound annual growth rate of 37.6%. This rate is forecasted to last till 2027 at least. So there are many years to come in this business of storing things for other people on the cloud. North America is the dominant region, and this data came from Market Research Future, and it's done this year. The key dominant players in personal cloud computing storage, I should say, are Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Dropbox, Box, Seagate. All of these companies have their decent share in this personal cloud storage. Now, data is not just important to ourselves as human beings, individuals. To the entire internet, it is actually one of the most fundamental places. The picture you're seeing on the screen right now is actually one of Filecoin storage provider's machine. These are rows and rows of 15 or 16 terabyte drives, back to back stacked on the whole rack. So a whole rack could worth about 1 million in cost, machine itself, and it can hold lots of data. Data storage is incredibly important to the internet. If we think about that, just everything we interact online has something to do with storage. A website that you visit is a bunch of front-end code that is downloaded to your browser, and your browser makes it pretty, and your browser allows you to interact with it and render it. If you open up your phone, all of the mobile phones app needs to be downloaded from App Store and run on local device. So that is your phone operating system. The pictures and videos you view online on Facebook, Twitter, needs to be stored somewhere and needs to be retrieved by a website or an app. So they don't actually store those information. They run the program, and then the program retrieves those information from the servers, looks just like this one, and then get your photos out from there. So research from statistica.com shows that in 2021, the total capacity of cloud data center storage in the world is 2,000 exabyte. 1 exabyte equals to 1 million terabyte. And then this means that there's a lot of data capacity out there. How much are we using right now as a human race? We're using about 470 exabytes of data right now. So cloud storage is huge, and cloud storage is a big business. It's a $78 billion market and is growing at 18% compound growth rate per year. Have you seen this page before? Full arrow. We all have seen that when we're browsing online. There is a lot of technology advanced in the business of storing things. So hard drives, portable hard drives, servers with racks of drives. There is SSD, solid state drives that store things better. But we're really not good at preserving data online. Why do I say that? Because the website that you're seeing right now, right here, every day, it could be gone within 2.5 years time. Study shows by Forbes, that the average lifespan of website is 2 years and 7 months. People are not good at maintaining websites and keep the content there. And that's a huge pity, because we have generated so much great content. Like what I'm doing right now, the podcast is a really good content, the streaming video, the talks that's being produced, they're really good, but it just hurts me to think of like these things could be gone in maybe 2.5 years, and no one will be ever able to see it. Preserving data online is very hard because there are two problems, I think, right now. Is one, we're relying on people and organization to store data. Let's say, like, if Google folds tomorrow, that will create a chaos on the internet, because we have so much reliance on Google services to store things. And then whereas like not-for-profit organizations, they're just not interested in storing data like that. The second issue, I think, which makes it hard to preserve data online, is the current centralized design of the internet. Right now, to be able to store data, it often needs to be stored on a single server, or at least one IP address that points to one server. Yes, you can create multiple versions of the servers out there, but it's still a very centralized design. So you need to visit the same domain, same URL, same IP address, and then retrieve the information from there. The current design is a design decision. The current internet has a design decision that's made a few decades ago, and that unfortunately is a centralized design, which is not really good for data persistence. We all have learned that when Facebook has an outage, we don't have access to the posts and photos that we have stored on it. So that's just one explanation of how fragile the system is. So the internet is changing. The world is changing. The internet was first created a few decades ago to just allow a few computers to talk to each other. We call that the initial internet. It works on the wires. The bandwidth is not high, just like for universities to transfer files between each other. And that was the first version. So it was extremely limited. Then the people saw the vision of the internet, an online archive of data that people can browse. So the Web 1.0 was born. It was mainly read-only. People were hosting sites with information, and one of the most important things of the internet is actually the hyperlink. So within the one website, when you're looking at one page, you can find hyperlinks to link to other pages. Now, to do this on the book is incredibly resource intensive, because once you find a reference or citation of something, you will need to find that book in another library and then find more citation, and you need to go to another library to do that. But online, it's very easy. So the hyperlink will take you to different references very easily. So Web 1.0 was born. It was mainly read-only. Most of us are consumers of the information. We don't produce those information. The information were produced by a few people who controls the server. And yes, you can suggest content and all that, but it's not often a very it's often a very very hard process to do. Now, Web 2.0 changed this, and Web 2.0 is considered to be the current internet, the prevail of platform businesses out there, such as Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, all these services out there. They have made it incredibly easy for normal people like you and me to create content on those platforms. So creating a LinkedIn post, creating a Facebook video, creating a chat and put it online, creating like your own music, your podcast or streaming video to be uploaded to YouTube is incredibly easy right now compared to Web 1.0 era. And this allows like all of the content to be created by people, so you can read and write. A website is not something you read, but website is something that you put your content in, so you can read and write. It's more interactive. But because of the design is centralized, and the businesses sort of is promoting the platform business model, what we're seeing is a trend for centralization. So all of your data kind of is scattered around a few platforms, and when the platform is not available, it's going to go away, right? We've heard of certain platforms trying to delete content that users have used, and that's pissed off a lot of creators out there. That's because it's like they have the power of doing so. Everyone is relying on them. So a few smart people got together and think, well, the current internet is not designed well. We're not happy with it. We need a better version of the internet. That was the concept of Web 3.0. Web 3.0 is a better internet, better version of the internet, because a group of people have realized it's so important to our lives right now. So the Web 3.0 movement was created. And intention is to return the data and the control of the internet to the hands of the user. Yes, the normal user like you and me. This is something very new, but there's a lot of investment, a lot of resources being poured into it. And it's really happening right now. Web 3.0 is a combination of a few things. It's a movement. And in short, it has three concepts in there. One is distributed web, which means the next version of the internet should work offline. So any computer that links to the internet should be able to participate, even if they're cut off from the rest of the world. It should be faster, safer, because we don't want a smaller, insecure web technology. There's no need for a central point of coordination. So we want to get rid of platforms and companies who controls the internet so tightly. And there's concept of permanent links. So why should URL not work? Like for a full page you see, it should always work as long as someone on the internet has that content or a website or pages, whatever you want to have for that link. Now, the second most important concept is blockchain. Blockchain decentralizes consensus and also the governance of a project. So instead of relying on a single organization, what happens is every participant in the ecosystem will believe in the blockchain technology, and it has the common truth, like one single truth of what's going on in the world. So blockchain is distributed ledger. It records all the transactions in there, and it's very easy for every single node or participant to validate the transactions on it. So it's all the information is publicly verifiable, so you can trust each other without having a single organization or a single entity. It's permissionless, so anyone can join as long as you confirm with the specification and the standards that the blockchain project has. And usually it comes with incentives. So it's great. Like there is incentive to encourage certain behaviors, and there is punishment for bad behaviors in the network. And it's all written in the code. The last one is the semantic web concept. The current internet actually has a lot of information, but the machines don't actually understand those information. Imagine what a machine can do if it understands that Melbourne, which is the city that I'm in, is a city, is a location, and when people search for it, it's able to suggest all the things you can do with a location rather than just having Melbourne as a text stored everywhere on the internet. This also reduces the duplication of the information on the internet. If it knows that Melbourne, Australia is only one place, and in the world there's only one location called this, it doesn't have to create so many copies of this on the internet. So these are the three most important concepts of Web3. That is distributed web, blockchain, and the concept of semantic web. So introducing interplanetary file system. This is a file system that's created by Protocol Labs, which is a research and engineering company that started the Filecoin project. This is a revolutionary protocol, and it's the Web3 version of HTTP. And we use HTTP every day without realizing what it is and how it works. And IPFS provides a better version of it in the Web3 world. So if you have a phone right now, you can scan this QR code, and what you will get is a little program that I have written and published on IPFS network through this very amazing tool called Fleek.co. It helps you to build and launch websites and then have it stored, served from a truly decentralized network called IPFS. And it has integration with Filecoin to persist your site for longer. As you can see from the GIF on the right, the user, once it's logged in on the website, they can select the file and upload the asset. Could be a picture, could be a file, and then generate a link that has some random numbers and letters in there. So that link that the user will get is called an IPFS link, and that is pointing to a specific content of it in the network. So exactly what the significance are, I will explain a little bit later. But take a look at that. Type patient serve 6690 on Fleek.co. I didn't choose these numbers. The computer chose these random numbers. It was not me intentionally. But take a look at this website and try it out yourself. I should warn you that whatever you upload it will be on IPFS, a distributed a storage network, and they will be there semi-permanently. So what just happened if you have done it already? As a user, you've visited the website that I have created, and that was deployed to IPFS through the help of Fleek.co. And what happens is it has no backend. It will talk to only Web3 storage, which is the storage service that Filecoin has started. It's a little bit like a Dropbox for developers. And then the Web3 storage acts as a gateway to send the file that you wanted to upload to IPFS and Filecoin network. IPFS allows distributed file storage, and Filecoin allows the file to be persisted on the network for a lot longer. And then when the user click on the link that you get at the end, it is going through a IPFS gateway, which is bridging the HTTP protocol with IPFS protocol, so Web 2 and Web 3 protocols, and it will allow that file to be retrieved or downloaded from IPFS network. So interplanetary file system really truly is trying to change the way how the internet works. On the computer, when we try to find a file, we need to specify the path and the name of the file. The internet works similarly. So when we type in www.domain.com, it's actually trying to find the IP address of the server and then goes to a specific location of that server and serve that content. So when the server is offline, you get a 500 error or 404 error if it is not able to find it. And then IPFS works very differently. So first, IPFS will look at the content of the file, so a picture or a GIF or whatever. It will create a cryptographic ID of it, so using a method called a hash function, and it will create a fixed links ID, and that becomes a new URL. And that ID has whatever is a unique fingerprint of the content itself. So if you change the content, if the picture got tampered with, or if someone tried to send you another one, then it will have a different URL. So intrinsically, the file system cares about what the content is and not about where it is, which is the current design of things. So again, instead of looking up location, it looks up the content directly. This has a few benefits to it. One is the IPFS system works offline. Imagine a whole village that is connected to a power grid. So in order to have electricity, they need to be always connected. But imagine everyone in a village has a solar panel and a wind turbine, and what that means is they can be self-sufficient. And when they cut off from the main supply of electricity, they can still feed each other electricity. So IPFS works like this. If you cut off a whole country, for example, the nodes and the computers within that country can still work as if nothing happened. So that's because the design principle is offline first, whereas most of the design that we see right now on the internet is online first. So if the central server is not online, then you don't get any services. It is fully distributed. There's no single organization that runs this. The computer sort of has its consensus together and pass messages through each other securely. It is permanent as you want it. So as long as you put the content in there, you will have a permanent link. And as long as there is a node or computer that has that content, it will always be there and be served. It is safer, faster. It is smarter. It duplicates content on the internet because it knows what it is. So IPFS is open source program first. There are many repositories out there, and there are a large group of developers, really smart developers, contributing to that in an open source manner. So it has attracted a lot of people using this product because it's so popular in Web3. And these are just not an exhaustive list of partners that IPFS has. So I talked about IPFS and how content on IPFS can be referred to using content ID, but no one actually guarantees that your content will be there forever. The reference might be, the URL might be, but if someone deletes the content from all of the nodes in a word, then you won't be able to get it. So the decentralized storage can be reliable. And the solution is Filecoin. So Filecoin was designed to use crypto economic incentive to keep data distributed, reliable, and verifiably stored, and be very cost effective against cloud storages that we have right now. So no matter how long you want to store your data, for half a year or 1.5 years or 500 years, you can use Filecoin to persist, and it's guaranteed to beat the cost of cloud storage out there. Filecoin is designed for Web3 from ground up. If you're thinking of building a new application in the Web3 world, if you already have one, take a look at IPFS and Filecoin and see if that will suit you. It's a massive network right now. So I'll just talk about figures very quickly on this slide. We have now 18 exabyte, which is 18 million terabyte of capacity. That means hard drives are spinning. They're ready for people to use. And we call the participants in the network who has storage. They're called storage providers. They're basically the data center maintainers ready to take on any deals that you give them. It is governed by consensus. So no single corporation actually controls it. Not even Filecoin Foundation controls it. The community looks after it, and all of the improvements needs to go through an improvement process. And Filecoin Foundation facilitates the governance of it. These are some more network stats. There are 4,000 of mini data centers. We call them storage providers there. We have a really popular service called NFT.storage. Right now, there are 87 million NFTs stored on Filecoin. So we're really helping with the NFT work. And there are 7.1 million storage deals being traded on the network. Think of it like Airbnb for hard drives. And the utilization, so the clients who are storing those data, there is 179 petabyte of storage. Remember I mentioned that the cloud storage market has 2,000 exabyte, and we're using about 470 petabyte of data. These are the figures for Filecoin, and these figures make us the biggest distributed network in the world, storage network in the world. So together, IPFS and Filecoin is a perfect match because IPFS allows people to store and retrieve very easily, flexibly. It is a distributed file system, and Filecoin provides guarantee and persistence and verifiability to the files that you want to store. So one is hot storage, one is cold storage for developers and companies out there. There are a few services that I would like to introduce you to. Fleek hosting. So if you think of building a website and you want to make it fully decentralized, Fleek is a great tool. It works very similarly to Netlify, and it's got a great user experience. Within minutes, you can hook up your GitHub repository or GitLab or Bitbucket, whatever you want, and then publish your site, and it will be on IPFS and Filecoin. This is another service that I mentioned earlier, NFT.storage. This is a free storage forever solution for any NFT project who wants to store things on IPFS. Just create an account, and then you can drag and drop your NFTs to it, and you will get a CID to put it into your smart contract and start using it. So the CID, content ID, gives you an immutable reference to the NFT asset that you create or you sold to someone, and it is a better way of writing NFT smart contracts. So highly encourage you to use this service, and it is free. Currently, there are 87 million assets on it. This number is growing at a crazy rate every week. So what about storage that are not NFT? We do have another product called Web3.storage. Now, the first terabyte is free, and there's a pricing model for things if you need more than 1 terabyte of storage. Now, this is for everything else. This is for general purpose storage. So if you're building an application that needs store files or videos or something like that, this is a perfect one to go. And it's very easy to be integrated with. We have JavaScript and Go client libraries, and there's an amazing API to interface with different programs. For developers who are looking for a more end-to-end interaction with IPFS and Filecoin and would like to control how deals are done, like which data center you want to store, like how many copies and how long to store for, S3 provides an end-to-end solution for it. It's also working as a reference build for developers, so you can fork it or duplicate it or clone it and then make it your own product and build on top of it. I highly encourage you to take a look at that, install, run it on your own computer, and take a look at how you can build a deeper integration with Filecoin. So that's it from me. Again, I am a developer advocate from Filecoin Foundation. Today, I hope you have learned a little bit about decentralized storage and use my application to upload one of the files to there. You can tell your friends and family that you know about decentralized storage now, and show off your IPFS link and tell them how permanent this can be on the internet. And I hope to see you again soon.
Jeng Squo. Do you understand why he's one of the best of Malam? I can't hear you. Can you unmute your mic and open your heart, as we say?
I said because he's on top of it. He's just on top of it. And so...
And you can find him at Linktree, HTTPS Linktree. Jenksquo, that is JENKSGUO, Jenksquo, one of the best of Malam of the 2022-2023 season. Filecoin. Get your free NFT storage, people. Get your free NFT website today. And after a year, not even a year, but after having a break from his first talk, from the airing of the show, I don't remember the date, till now, the amount of information that we've learned about Web3 makes the refresher talk or the re-listen to it even more exponentially mind-blowing. So our minds were already blown with the first listen. Now that we have an expansion of our own personal knowledge and our knowledge as a community grown as speakers and developing our everyday learning of Web3, now our minds are even blown even more. You would think we'd be like, oh yeah, that was really cool. But now we're like, the talk got even better.
Exactly. I must agree with you in the application and the necessity, because as time has progressed, it's like our needs have grown as well. And so
Absolutely.
now it's like is even more the time is like to dip our feet into this well. If you haven't done it, it's time to, for sure.
Today, I'm like, oh, I need to go make my Web3 website
Yeah, yeah,
because it's time. We
exactly,
can't just preach about it. We have to be about it. If we're
exactly.
about Web3 and we're about onboarding people and about implementing immediately what we learn, now that we know better, we have to do better immediately.
Immediately,
So we got
exactly.
to go and start putting our NFTs and
Hmm.
creating our file storage and security because as you're a musician, and I'm a photographer, and we just had a conversation about file storage,
Exactly.
redundancy, cloud storage, printing. And I was like, we have to create the redundancy. And I said, the most important way we can do this is on the blockchain. We're in Web3. We can't be putting things on our phone, we can't be storing things. We have to put what our legacy is and what we're creating every single day on the blockchain so that we
Hmm.
can free up space and work freely and not walk around in fear of
Losing.
if this dies and can I send you something? No, you can't send it to me. I'm storing stuff here. We can't use our phones as a storage database, I say with my 14,000 photos on my phone. I'm clearing I need to clear my energy. I need to unmute my phone, unmute my heart, and
Well, I
speak.
can't. I can't speak for you, but I think we're on the same wavelength because as soon as we get off of this, as soon as we're done airing, it's like I am going to go secure my website, and
Yes,
so
we are
there's no question
immediately.
about that. And so, and then even that elucidatus we were talking about, I wonder it probably is available on Web3 because
It is.
it's because
It
we're
is.
it is, I know. And so
Let's go.
let's go, baby girl. Y'all out there listening, being a part of this. The point of Web3 and the point of this show is to educate, to inspire, uplift, and encourage. All right. So this is your opportunity. You've heard some real alpha. If you didn't see it the first time, you're blessed because you get to see it this time. And if you're wise, is like you will take advantage when things are free and available. Things are not always going to be free and available in this space. It's because we're on the cutting edge. It's because we're at the beginning. It's because we're at the very, very, very tip. It's like we are still at the very beginning, even though we've been at this for over almost 2 years. And so, bottom line is get in, get your feet wet, and enjoy the swim.
Let's go. And we're going to leave you with, of course, because we're feeling ourselves today. We're
Right.
trying to stay humble, but we're feeling ourselves today. We feel the spring and the allergies in the air, and we're not ashamed to say it. So we're going to leave you with our favorite NFT Malam theme for this year. It is Let Me Load This
Damn
with our
straight.
favorite co-host, Vessi Mink of
Missy
Vessi
Meek.
Mink Music, and also of the Music Train every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, featuring the best of Web3 and NFT music. Vessi Meek, our very own singer-songwriter, first co-host of NFT Malam from the beginning. We're so excited about NFT music and the Music Train, where Vessi Meek writes a musical NFT right there on the spot and mints it live. Woo! Join us on the Music Train. Vessi Mink, I'll be watching this Saturday. She has an exciting guest. I met them in the interwebs, in the DMs. I'm going to be watching from the stage this week. I won't be co-hosting anymore because Vessi Mink is a powerhouse and is doing it her way, just like Tina Turner did. So, but I'll be in the backstage. I'll be in the green room because I can. So we're excited about Music Train this week. Ruler and Peace, what is coming up on Machine Minds? When is
Machine
that?
Mi- Machine's Mind is actually for now it's going to be bi-monthly, and
Okay.
so until we can get back to getting it, the goal is to have it to be weekly, but for now
Okay.
it'll be every other week.
Okay.
And actually, my next guest is going to be none other than Miss Kafi D. Ambrosi.
I
And
forgot. Thank you so much for the for the reminder.
And we are going to be talking about artificial intelligence, and Miss Kafi has got some gems about different AI tools out there that she's been using. She's got some stories to tell from her experiences. And so it will be airing not this Sunday, but next Sunday, same time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the advertisement will be out there.
I'll be discussing my journey into AI, which began last year, and then I watched it explode. But I'll be showing you how I use AI as a tool. It is not a replacement for writing, but it is a tool to unlock your creativity. And I'll be showing you how I unlocked some of my stuck thoughts and was able to have a breakthrough into creating more and gathering my thoughts and my notes together. So I hope I bring some value to machine minds and to your audience, ruler in peace. So let us jam out to our favorite. We hope this brings some joy to you today. We are excited to be with NFT Malam. We had a rough week, but guess what? Everything worked out for us this week.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to leave it with let me load this because we are going into this next week full of vim, vigor, and joy. So thank you very much, everyone. We will see you next week at NFT Malam number 46. We have a great guest coming up for you. You'll be seeing the promos coming up. Join us, please share, like, and share on our YouTube channel, Metaverse Generation. You can also follow Ruler and Peace at Ruler and Peace on YouTube, and also Machine Minds. You can follow me at Kafi plus Studio Kafi, and then also Innovation Infusion coming up with our first episode this Sunday. Thank you so much, everyone. Let Me Load This by Leslie Mink and our favorite DJ No Sin, or as I call him, Big Sin, because he's big. He's a big personality, and we love him and we miss him. Bye-bye, everyone.
And Miss Coffee, can we just let this play just a little bit longer for those? See, we've heard this all the way through. It's like, but most people don't get to hear this all the way through. So can we just let this play at least through the first rendition? Is like not the whole thing necessarily, but just a little bit longer, because I want people to really feel this vibe as they take off for the rest of their day.
Yes, and before we do that, let's give a shout out to once again NFT Malam.
until next week. Thank you for being here. I hope you feel the vibe of Basic Meat. And see, everyone, just take care and be well. Peace, love, and tranquility.